tonight's video, we're jumping back on our favourite Twitter/X page. Now, I'm actually recording this over a week ago before I intend on live streaming for the second time, but that's now in the past, so hopefully I streamed and hopefully it went well. And the plan is to look at some confessions, so hopefully that was enjoyable. But tonight I thought we would revisit Fesshole. Now, for those of you who are unaware, I've done a few videos on this Twitter page a few times, but to quickly introduce the video and the page, essentially people anonymously send in their confessions and Fesshole just tweets them. And often there's some pretty wild stuff, so warning, some of these are probably going to be slightly rude, probably NSFW, if you will. So you've been warned. I haven't had a look. I've just booted it up, and we're going to live react to some crazy confessions together. So let's get into it. So this first confession says, dated an actress who's now well known in the UK, but when we dated she was an unknown. I recently saw her in a sex scene on TV where she made some of the same noises as when we were having sex, and now I'm paranoid. She was acting then and I'm just bad in bed. That's devastating. One of the replies is, local man gets supporting role in actress's method acting journey. Every time I cross a road, regardless of whether there is traffic, I press the pedestrian stop button. I do this to maximise the number of pedestrians transport planners thinks there are, and redesign accordingly. I have no clue if this data is collected. What an odd thing to do. When I was young, I was jealous that all the kids my age had their voices change from puberty, while I was a late bloomer. So I started faking my voice, and I did that for so long that now I don't even know what my real voice is anymore, because I naturally default to that voice. That is crazy. That's... surely after it broke, you could revert back. Man, that would give me a serious identity crisis. I take great pleasure in always winning Monopoly when I play with my wife and 2 children, aged 7 and 9. My personal best was having both my children in tears and wife giving me the cold shoulder because I was so ruthless. It's my way of showing them that life isn't fair. Hey, I stand with this guy. Like, there is 0 point in letting your kids win. 0 point. You're teaching them a valid lesson. Until I was young, I thought that a general anaesthetic was one that was used all over the country. And a local one was one that was just used where I lived. Oh my god. That is so good. That is so good. I love my girlfriend in every other way, but she swooshes her D around her mouth like it's same thing, not with tea or coffee, mind, but with fizzy drinks, especially Dr. Pepper. I swill it round my mouth, like, almost like shake it up in your mouth before swallowing. I find it brings out more of the flavour. Let me know if any of you do that. But you can't break up over that, that's outrageous. Since sneaking my way for a driving test 12 years ago, I've still not learned how to properly use a roundabout. Whenever I approach one, I visualise the in-betweener scene when Neil tells Jay which way to look, so that I can successfully get round in one piece. These are the people on our roads. Honestly, I do feel that recently, not to go off on a massive tangent, but the standard of driving has got so much worse over the last few years. There are so many more idiots on the road. My boyfriend, this one sounds disgusting from what I've skim-read. My boyfriend peeled a massive bit of skin off his heel. We thought it looked like pig skin, so while drunk, decided to deep fry it and make human crackling. Tasted like gone off pork and the house stank for days. That is disgusting. Yeah, someone said, yet another reminder that you can't eat at everyone's house. That is terrible. I know you're drunk, but that's not an excuse. Whenever I've been drunk, I feel like I still maintain somewhat a level of being logical. I want to go, you know what, I'm going to do a Michael Scott and cook a bit of my foot. Oh gosh. That's horrible. I always loved hot buttered crumpets as a child. Then one day I asked my dad where they came from. He told me they came from the sea. Disgusted, I stopped eating them for years. As a young adult, I saw crumpets being sold in a baker's and realised they were bread-based. Gutted. What is the dad getting out of that lie? It just seems so unnecessary. My wife is adamant I should contact the doctor as I've lost my voice, so she thinks I must need an antibiotic. I can't even face the embarrassment of explaining it's because I was making really loud race car noises the entire 6-hour drive home from London on Friday. To be fair, I've driven to my partner's house before and I've turned up with like no voice left just from an hour of singing in the car, so I don't find that one that weird. Right, what else we got? A friend bought that ridiculous £400 Lord of the Rings Lego set off Rivendell and displays it in his lounge. Every time I'm round his house, I steal exactly one piece from it. Currently I've taken 29 pieces and he hasn't noticed. That might be one of the most evil things I've ever read in my life. That's horrendous. I know I'm not into Lego because it is expensive and I already have enough expensive hobbies. But I like a good puzzle, and that's like if you get to the end of a puzzle and realise that there's one piece missing. You are an evil, evil individual. Disgusting. Every single time my picture is taken, I wonder if this is the one that will appear on the front pages after my murdered body is found dumped in the woods somewhere. I've never really thought about that, but that is technically true, isn't it? Which for a few years they wouldn't have had a recent picture of me because for ages me and my partner just for some reason just didn't take pictures. We're still really bad at taking pictures. We've got a few now. Right, next one. I have a spreadsheet which tracks time spent having a boo at work each year against my hourly rate for that year. In my 22-year career, I've been paid approximately £21,450 for shitting. Significantly more if I adjust for inflation, which is on my to-do list. Who has that time to do that? Well, I guess if he started it when he first started booing, it's only a little bit of work per day, isn't it? And well worth it in the long run. Right. Went to see the doctor recently with a bad neck. Didn't mention every time I walk up the stairs I pretend to be a velociraptor and jolt my head back and forth. You know, it's when you read these pages that you realise, as a weirdo, you're not alone in the world. You're not alone. I give my husband the middle finger whenever he turns his back, sometimes when he's asleep. The risk of getting caught gives me a little adrenaline. He would be so mad if he knew. No, I don't do this to my partner, but I kind of get the adrenaline thing. Because when I'm super bored, if I'm in public, usually only when I'm with my partner, because I'm a show off, I want to do things for a reaction. If someone's got their back to me, a stranger, I'll go as close to them as possible and kind of like pull like a big face. I'm not going to do it, but pull like a big face. And then when they start to turn, go back to like being normal and natural. Don't know why. Well, I know why, it's fun. Anyways. Whenever a mum is rude to me, I just smile at her child and say, "Are you having a lovely day with Grandma?" That's good, actually. That's good. Not that I'm gonna use that, but... What else? I'm trying to spot the ones with lots of likes. I'm a manager at a sandwich shop. When people aren't sure what to order and ask me what my favourite sandwich is, I tell them I don't have one. The truth is I do, but it takes 15 minutes to make that one, and I consider it a waste of time to make unless I'm the one going to be eating it. Our 10-year-old daughter wrote a contract adorned in flowers, butterflies and glitter that we playfully signed. Well, that's legally binding, so that was a mistake. It gives her the right to have the final say over the name of the puppy we adopted. Signing it was a mistake. She named our puppy Bella Hella Fluffer McFarty Pants. That's actually a freaking sick name. You could call her Bells Hells, or Fluff, or Farty, I don't know, as abbreviation. But the options are endless. It's a good name. I am a developer for a major video game company. As an inside joke with a colleague, I hid a picture of my tits in one particular AAA game. The picture was found by a pre-release beta tester and reported. Luckily the reports went to me, so I purged it before deleting the tits. Nice. I wonder what game it room saying I'm going to run away. Parents couldn't find me, so they called the police, and there was a massive search for me. I'd fallen asleep in my wardrobe. I was upstairs gaming when I could hear lots of banging and noise downstairs. Thought it was the wife, then only realised after my game finished that she was out. The banging was from a thief who stole a lot of our stuff. Had to tell the wife and the police I didn't hear a thing. Stuff like that really scares me. Like there's that clip on YouTube where that kid is, I don't know if he's streaming or recording a YouTube video, and he literally starts getting robbed as he's recording, and it's terrifying. To discourage my kids from asking for a Furby for Christmas, I told them that they come alive at night and pull your fingernails off to feed on the soft meat underneath. I've heard the youngest telling her friends about it in the playground. To be fair, that is based. Furbies are creepy as anything. My best mate works in another department in my company. When we were both on working from home days, we schedule meetings with each other on Teams. Something that sounds important like financial performance update. Dial in and then go and skive off. I had a 3-hour nap last Friday. That is the epitomisation of work smarter, not harder. I didn't pursue a relationship with a very attractive woman at work who made it clear she was interested, purely because she has the same name as the wives of 3 of my best friends, and it's silly enough as it is. Sorry, Helen. That's really strange. Let's see. I use fairy liquid in the shower. My wife thinks I'm weirdly frugal. The truth is I like to lather up and fart, convinced that one day I will successfully blow bubbles. Not done yet. The world is full of idiots, and yet I kind of want to give it a go. Be a cracking ASMR video. No, it wouldn't. I grew up obsessed with seahorses, drew loads of pictures of them, even got a seahorse tattoo when I was 18. I thought they weren't real and were mythical creatures like unicorns. Hard lesson in life to learn when I went to Alton Towers aged 27 and saw one in the aquarium. I mean, the word seahorse does sound pretty mystical, so I guess you can be forgiven. When on holiday, myself and the wife always look for people who reserve the same sunbeds every day. We make it our mission to get their beds just so it pisses them off. The looks on their faces when you lie there knowing they are pissed off with you. Hey, I like that. The whole getting a sunbeds thing is just so cringe, isn't it? It's so cringe. Came home hammered one night and pissed in the bottom drawer of the freezer. Forgot about it until it came to making Sunday dinner the next day. I pretended I'd had some cans of cider in there that had exploded. We still use that drawer today, and my wife never found out the truth. Like, this is my thing again, like, even smashed, I think the worst place I've ever pissed is the sink. Like, why are you going out of your way to open the freezer, then pull out the freezer drawer? Like, I don't understand. Right, quite new boyfriend spent the saw him again. That is ridiculous. That boy is a beta male. Nothing wrong with a good fart. An impressive fart as well. When I was young, I never understood how old people could search for their glasses, only to realise they had them on their head the whole time. I just spent 10 minutes searching the house for my wireless earbuds, which, yes, were in my ears all along. I work for a sewage company. During my recent colonoscopy, the doctor asked what I did for a living. I said the same as you, rooting around people's shit all day, but for far less pay, I imagine. She didn't laugh. An even more awkward 40 minutes followed. Hey, I think that's a good joke. Yeah, Doctor sucks, I agree. I've already got my Doctor Who costume sorted out. Should I ever be cast in the role? It would probably rank in the higher tier of the outfits from the show, in my opinion. I'm a 40-year-old accountant with 0 acting experience. To be fair, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about my attire. I think it'd be more down the David Tennant big trench coat route, to be honest. If Google Maps reports a speed camera and asks, "Is this still here?" I always tick no. It's not my job to help speeding motorists avoid a fine. There are speed limits for a reason. Yeah, unsurprisingly, a lot of people are essentially calling this guy a job's worth. Not too happy. My partner and I collect fridge magnets when on holiday. Other people have gotten onto this and start getting ones for us from places we've never been. It drives me mad, but I can't say anything because it looks ungrateful. No, I just have to travel to those places too. Do you know what? I had the exact same issue when I was younger. I used to collect key rings from any countries, trips, whatever, like any places I went to, days out. But occasionally people would give them to me, and I'm pretty sure I just threw them away, because that's not the point of the collection at all. If they were miscellaneous ones, like a Scooby-Doo one, then I'd accept. But if there was from a place I'd never been, straight in the bin. Right, my friend hated the bridesmaid dress I made her wear to my wedding, but went with it when I told her I had my heart set on it. Truth is, the dress was terrible, but it was the only one which covered up her god-awful tattoos. Oh gosh, that's awkward. I recently stayed a night in a fairly cheap hotel, 15 minutes drive from my place, because I have no friends or social life and wanted to spend some time somewhere different to my own house. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad. They're all getting a bit negative now. I've enjoyed Christmas about twice in my 50 years of being alive. Too many people, too many gatherings, such a short period. It's relentless and overwhelming. I wish it was an opt-in thing and I could tell people that I'm not doing it this year. Like dry January. Do you know what? I love Christmas. I've enjoyed so many Christmases. But I do understand this confession, because in the same way I really enjoy it, I do find there's so much pressure on it, and this build up, and then all of a sudden it's done, kind of thing. It is a funny thing. Last year the wife bought a £800 Christmas tree. When I was putting it in the She told me to get help, but I declined. Trying to shove it in, I snapped 2 of the branches and bent the top. Never told her, as I knew I had 10 months to figure it out. Now it's that time again, and I'm screwed. Who in their right mind is spending £800 on a Christmas tree? Seriously? Like, surely it's not about how good the tree is, but how you decorate it. 800 quid, that is obscene. Obscene. I wondered why my husband kept on buying me little penguin gifts. Apparently penguins mate for life, which now makes me cheating on him even worse. Oh gosh, that's not good. Oh. Right. We don't have a lot of money, so my wife puts more food on my plate as I work. But halfway through I stop eating saying I'm full and give her the option to finish mine or put in the fridge so I can take it to work. I always forget to take it to work, so she eats it. That is a good man. That is a good man. I love that. That's nice and wholesome. Are we going to end on that one? No, I don't want to end on a wholesome one. I want to end on a bad one. Lied about my age on a dating app. I'm always told I look about 10 years younger. Met somebody, they want to get married. Never came clean about my age. I have no idea how to proceed from here. Plus my 50th is coming up, but I actually celebrated it 7 years ago. It's like the guy who changed his voice, like how do you live with a lie for so long? Like it is so much easier to nip it in the bud, like early doors. When I was a kid, I used to bend down and let random dogs sniff my arse, because I thought it's how they say hello. It still mortifies me today, and my dad claims to have a photograph of it that he plans to show at my wedding in his Father of the Bride speech. Hence why I'm not married. After a protracted battle of wits with the local squirrel, I finally succeeded in positioning the bird feeders out of its reach. I then found myself feeling sorry for the furry little bastard, and now it's got its own bowl. That's good. Sometimes when I order lots of food from a takeaway, I purposely order 2 cans of pop, just so the amount of food that I've ordered looks like it's for 2 people, even though I'm about to demolish it on my own. You don't need to do that. There is no shame in the amount of food eaten. Me and my partner often get meals from KFC intended for 5 or 6 people and polish it off between us. No shame at all. Right. When I'm out for a run, I often pass this ridiculously attractive girl. Naturally, to impress her, I crank up my speed to something just shy of Olympic level sprinting. Unfortunately, my Achilles backed in and now I need surgery. I'm going to end with this one. Daughter has been using my credit card for buying clothes on Vinted without my permission, so I made up a fake banking email detailing that fraudulent activities have been flagged up and the card holder has been notified. She's currently freaking out in her bedroom. That is parenting. That is parenting. We definitely had some good ones in there. And I know it's in the past for you, but in the future for me, I'm really excited to hopefully go through some of these live together, and hopefully it was fun. It's kind of weird filming in this way, but with the additional Christmas content, I kind of have to film when I can. But yeah, hopefully you really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like to see more. But yeah, that is gonna do it for tonight.